When I'm browsing the internet, I don't typically search for stuff on my own because I really like to complain about stuff. If it is just dumb enough, I will go on about it for a good while, probably way too long. And that little topic I decided to find was Otherkins. I've seen some things about it, mainly from Older Days Amazing Atheists, but I read up about Otherkins, and I just find this to be completely ridiculous. I don't understand why you would want to be another animal. I mean, the best empathy that I can give is that a human body sucks. We can't fly. We have next to no ability to breathe underwater for extended periods of time. Our running ability is mildly hindered, and we don't have tails. We don't have cool looking features, at least. Well, in consideration to cool looking features, we just simply see each other every single day, every single second. So of course it's not going to be as cool as like a lizard or a dragon, a goat, a Komodo dragon, a cat, a dog, a wolf, a leopard, a sheep, or basically anything that isn't a human. One thing that gets me is when someone just wakes up one day and goes, hey, I want to be this animal now. Now, of course, it's not going to be that simple. They probably have like a slow, gradual build up to it. But one, you can't be something unless you know it exists and you know how it works to an extent. You can't be a fox or a dragon or anything like that. Because one, you don't have the ability to physically displace yourself into another body and experience how it feels to be that animal. No human, I guarantee you, no human has the ability to transmit their thoughts into another human because it is physically not possible for us to do that. We don't emit anything to do that. There's been from what I know, partially speculation over here, from what I know, humans simply cannot do that. We just don't have that ability to do that. Nor does any other animal have that ability to do that. Being another animal, I think it's physically impossible. Because, like I said, can't transmit thoughts and you don't carry over thoughts. What you have in your head is what you have. It's locked in there. When you die, it's gone. If I were to identify as a cat, if I were to say I have a ghostly limb, which I will rant on about in a moment, and if I were to say that I like petting and I like to eat cat food and all that shit, then I'm delusional. Because one, I can't really be that unless I knew what it was in the first place. Have you noticed that a lot of these people who identify as otherkin know what it is, know what the animal is? Now, of course, you can't identify as something unless you're certain of what it is, and things like sexuality of what you are, you can't identify as it until you know what it is. But that is an entirely different kind of conversation than what an otherkin is. Identifying as a gender is completely different from identifying as another animal. You can't be another animal. You're a human. That's what you're born as, that's what you'll die as. And until science finds a way to transmit our bodies into another body that isn't a human, it just simply will never happen. Another thing is, how do you know that you're another animal? Like, how do you know you have, like, these features? Because for damn certain, you don't have these features. You don't have a functioning tail because, for those who don't know, which I'm pretty sure a lot of everyone knows, you have a non-functioning tailbone right between your butt cheeks. I forgot what the term is called. There's a term for non-functioning bones that are just now useless. Vestigial bones. Those are, that's the term for it. You don't have a tail. You don't have big ass claws. We have nails. They suck, but they do some decent job. You don't have hind legs. You just have regular feet like people. You don't have echolocation. You can't breathe underwater. You can't fly. You don't have any of that. You don't have wings, damn it. Ghost limbs are exactly as what they're referred to as. Ghost limbs. something that cannot be interacted with, and they're completely mental. I could say that I have a big ass bushy tail, and people are always stepping on it, and I complain about it. People will look at me like I'm fucking like insane. It's physically not there, and me thinking that it is there when no one else can see or feel it or anything, it just does not look that great. I understand that some people use this as a coping mechanism, which I find to be a really bad coping mechanism. First off, it just makes you look even worse, like I kept saying earlier. Why would you choose something that makes you look actively worse than if you were to not do it at all? If I was in the same camp as those people, I would most certainly probably do the same thing as them. Pretend I'm another animal because being a human sucks. Except I'm not in that camp, and I find the coping mechanism of being another animal to be just downright stupid. Man, ranting without a script is cool. There was a picture. Oh, here it is. This picture, when people ask me, how does it feel to be a cat? I'm like, how does it feel to be a human? One, the only reason why you know what it feels like to be a cat is because you petted one a lot. That's the only reason why you say, I know what it feels like to be a cat, because you petted one. Unless you somehow transmitted your brain into a cat, which is impossible. You don't know what it feels like to be a cat. You're only a human, and that's what you've been your whole life. Pretending you're another animal does not really do anything for you. It just makes you look ridiculous. Man, how many times have I gone on that little part? In short, I find otherkin to be a ridiculous coping mechanism, and I'm not very fond of it. I understand there's some psychological stuff behind it, but like, I just find it to be ridiculous and dumb. That's all I got to say on it. Bye.